All right, so picture this. A killer clown, balloons, a murder in broad daylight.
Oh, wow.
Sounds like a movie, right?
Yeah, straight out of Hollywood.
But this is real. This happened. 1990, Wellington, Florida. A woman, Marlene Warren, she's at home. Her son Joe's there too. When this costumed figure shows up at their door. And it changes everything. We're going deep on this one, diving into this article. The Killer Clown. It's from Investor. And it's not just the crazy disguise, but the way this case just twists and turns. Unsolved for decades. Prepare to be shocked.
All right, lay it on me.
So we're not talking about like some amateur hour clown here. Witnesses, they described a really well put together costume, right? Like the whole 9 yards, white face paint, orange wig, red nose, that fake smile painted on.
It works. Creepy.
Totally. And the killer even brings balloons and flowers, like it's some kind of celebration.
Oh, that's messed up. Like a sick joke.
Yeah, exactly. Twisted. It was May 26, 1990. Marlene, she was recovering from a broken leg. Her son Joe was with her. I mean, can you imagine? You're a teenager, you're just at home, and you see your mother shot at your front door by a clown.
Ugh, that's a nightmare.
It's awful. And that image, it just stays with Joe. Investigators, they knew right away how important his testimony was going to be.
Yeah, eyewitnesses, they can be crucial, especially in a case this bizarre. What did Joe remember?
Well, he was the only one who saw it all go down. And even though he was young, his account is incredibly detailed. He remembers the clown's costume, how they moved, everything, even like this chilling silence right before the gunshot.
So that silence, that would have been super unsettling. I mean, that kind of detail, it can help investigators put together a timeline, understand what happened, when.
Exactly. It's like a puzzle. You know, they're trying to piece it all together.
So who are the suspects? Who'd want to do something like this?
Well, the article says suspicion fell right away on Marlene's husband, Michael Warren, and his mistress, Sheila Kean.
Ugh. The mistress. So, an affair. Very public, too. I bet that raised some eyebrows.
Big time. It didn't take investigators long to figure out there was a motive there.
Yeah, crime of passion definitely fits. But then there's that clown costume that adds a whole other layer to it.
Totally.
Some people, they say it was meant to throw everyone off, to make it seem random, like some kind of sick joke.
Right.
But it could also be a way to humiliate Marlene, even in death.
Yeah.
Like knowing she'd be the last one to see that horrifying image.
God, that's dark.
Yeah.
But it points to someone who knew her, knew how to hurt her. This wasn't just some random act.
No, this was personal. You can tell.
Okay, but here's the thing. This was 1990. We're talking way before all the fancy forensics they have today.
Yeah, things were different back then.
Totally. Like they lifted fingerprints, took statements, all that. But the trail, it went cold.
That's got to be tough. For everyone, all those unanswered questions.
Yeah, for 27 years, Joe and the community, they had no answers, no closure. But then, in 2017, things changed. New evidence comes to light. And Sheila Kean, Michael Warren's ex-mistress, she gets arrested.
Whoa, 27 years later. That's a long time. What kind of evidence popped up after all that time?
Right. It's wild. The article doesn't say exactly what it was. Probably because of legal reasons, you know?
Makes sense. Sensitive stuff. But it makes you wonder, after all those years, how'd they crack it?
Well, technology, right. Like DNA analysis and all those forensic advancements, they can make a huge difference. Even re-examining old evidence can bring new things to light.
So they finally got their break. That's got to be satisfying for the investigators.
Yeah, totally. But there's a twist. Michael Warren, the husband, he was never charged.
Wait, seriously? He was a prime suspect this whole time.
I know, it's crazy, right? But even with suspicion, you still got to have enough to prove it, beyond a reasonable doubt. And maybe, even with the new evidence, they just didn't have enough on him. Or maybe they thought they had a stronger case against Sheila.
The legal system, it's complicated. It's not always about who we think did it. It's about what they can prove.
That's got to be tough for Joe Warren. To finally have an arrest, but still not have all the answers.
Yeah. Closure, justice. What do those things even mean in a case like this?
It makes you think, you know. This wasn't just some crime. It was a betrayal. It shook the family, the community.
Exactly. And that's what violence does. The impact, it goes way beyond the victim. It touches everyone, leaves scars.
So where does this leave us? Well, we've seen how a perfect crime can fall apart with time. And the hard work of those investigators. We've talked about the legal system, the challenges of proving guilt. But at the end of the day, after this deep dive, we're left with a question. Even with an arrest, did they really get justice? What would that even look like for Joe Warren, the son who lost his mother so tragically? That's something to think about, isn't it?
Yeah. It really makes you think.
Sure does.